This video is brought to you by Scratch Off Maps. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring this video. It is a brilliant map with lots of availability online that you can go and check out. So the link is in the description. They've got numerous amount of maps, including if you're wanting to follow English football, you're wanting to follow and do as many grounds in the 92. You've got maps based for the NFL over in the United States. You've got Scottish maps as well. You've got European maps, German maps for you to go and check out. So lots of variety and lots of good options. A little bit about the map. The map, very easy to scratch off. It's very accessible. You can literally just pin it up and put it literally anywhere in your room. I've even put mine on the door. I also really like the fanometer that's available on the map, where you can see how many grounds you visited and see what kind of football fan you are. I've currently done 43 of the grounds available on the map. A seasoned traveller, and I've got my eyes set this season on getting to serious respect section. Don't forget, you can go and check out the map. The link is in the description. Remember, if you use code JSGC10 on checkout, you'll get 10% off your order. Links and details, they're in the description. What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing my reaction to Manchester City's victory in the Champions League group stage match day number 3, where we took on Young Boys of Bern in Switzerland and won this game by 3-1, which is becoming a familiar feel for Manchester City in the Champions League this season, beating Red Star Belgrade at the Etihad 3-1, beating RB Leipzig away from home 3-1, and winning this away match in Switzerland against Young Boys 3-1 as well. So before I do crack on with this video, giving all of my thoughts, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and check out my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Do leave a thumbs up, 100 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. I'd like to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, Scratch Off Maps. Remember, make use of the code JSGC10 on checkout and you get 10% off your order. It's a fantastic map. I love them myself, so do go and check them out if you so wish. So, let's give my thoughts then from this game. And the most important thing, with the rain coming down very hard in Switzerland on an artificial pitch, there was a big concern. Man City headed out to Switzerland early on Tuesday to do a training session, which we normally would do at the City Football Academy, the CFA. We haven't done our training there. We did our training on this pitch to get used to the conditions instead, and seems to have worked for Manchester City as we've come out unscathed on this pitch. And I just feel like you run the risk of picking up more injuries on them artificial pitches than you do on the normal regular pitches that you will find with the top end of European football. We haven't picked up any injuries. We've got a big Manchester derby coming up at the weekend, so from that and coming out injury free is absolutely brilliant. The fact that we've managed to come away from Switzerland against a decent Young Boys team with a victory, very good as well. Young Boys will feel hard done by. They lost the first game at home in the Champions League group stage match day number 1 when they lost against RB Leipzig at home 3-1. It's another 3-1 defeat for them here on their own patch against Manchester City as well. And it doesn't really tell the true story. A 3-1 victory away from home for Man City suggests to me that Man City have pushed really hard, they've dominated the game, they've dictated the game, and they're well worth their victory. Is what normally happens when City win on the road in the Champions League. And actually, I don't think that's the whole case here. Young Boys having 86% pass completion rate, creating 10 shots, 4 of them on target, creating 1 clear-cut opportunity. They managed to have a lot of success offensively against Manchester City, and it's not the easiest things to do. I know City play a high line and how we like to play the football. You would say that as long as you're defensively sound against City, you'll create opportunities, but they're normally few and far between. And if you watch the game, you'll see that Young Boys were committing 4 or 5 players forward every time they were attacking and taking the game to Manchester City, which offered its own difficulties and complications when it came to this game. So it was a good defensive performance, I thought, from Manchester City. Yeah, we got carved open for their equaliser in the second half, which we'll speak more about in just a moment. But as a whole, Akanji grabbing a goal looked pretty solid for City. Ruben Dias didn't really put a foot wrong for City. Nathan Ake looked very solid at the back, and to me it was a good, strong, solid defensive performance from Manchester City that was enough to get the job done here. And to me, you can overanalyze, you can overlook things, you can kind of underappreciate things that are going on, but at the end of the day, you can only focus on one game at a time and who you were playing and what you're going up against. And how City played in this game and what we did was enough to get the job done, even with changing 5 players from our win against Brighton at the weekend and rotating the team with maybe half an eye on the Manchester derby as well. We've managed to get the job done, and to me, that's all that matters. We've won the game. We're in a very strong position to go through to the last 16 of the Champions League now, and we've come out injury-free. So to me, tonight is a giant success for Manchester City. So let's really dig deeper into this game. First half, don't want to talk about it. Wasn't a very fluent game. There were 4 or 5 good opportunities for City. We weren't clinical. We rectified that 48 minutes in. Akanji returns to Switzerland and grabs a goal. He looked like he'd been pushing for that. He was getting forward, he was creating chances. He wanted that goal and grabbed that goal for Manchester City as well. And as I said, Akanji looked good for us today in this game, and grabbing that goal with a well-taken goal. It was a good initial save from the header from the ball in from Ruben Dias from the goalkeeper. Doesn't have enough to get it away from the danger zone, and Akanji's there reading it like a striker, popping that ball into the back of the net to give City the lead. And then we never really built upon that, and that I think is something we really need to learn going into the weekend's match at Old Trafford. We struggled with that when we went to Old Trafford. We went ahead, took our foot off the gas and got punished for that. And we were punished in this game, taking our foot off the gas. Even though it was only a few minutes later, Manchester City never really continued to push and force the issue. It was Young Boys who wanted that goal next. It was Young Boys that wanted that equaliser, and it was Young Boys who managed to dictate that and make that happen. One simple ball forward, which caused me a little bit of concern with the defence, and it's my only little nitpick from this game, is how easy it is for teams to create opportunities against us with that high line. Not covering the gaps, just about onside. Rico Lewis couldn't keep up, and Elia, the attacker for Young Boys, chipping it over Ederson. It was a majestic finish. If you've not seen the goals, go and check out the highlights. It's a fantastic finish from Elia for Young Boys. Coolly chipped over the keeper into the back of the net. Ederson advancing, not an easy finish. Coolly taken. It's a class goal, if I'm honest. Well worthy of an equaliser. And then Young Boys just committed players forward, and it was causing City a lot of concern. There was a bit of sweat from a potential handball on Jack Grealish when he chipped the ball up and his arm was out and the ball brushed his arm, which wasn't checked as far as I'm aware from VAR. They weren't really interested in that, so they didn't give a penalty. Man City did come a cropper to something very similar later on in the game with Jack Grealish, with Julian Alvarez's well-taken goal ruled out to put us 3-1 ahead later in the game. Didn't happen, and so unfortunately we came out with a success on the penalty decision with the handball on Jack Grealish, with Young Boys not getting a penalty but came a cropper, levelled up by the referee. Maybe not helped with one of the Young Boy players lying on the ground, wanting a free kick to be given, wanting the ball to be stopped. Manchester City played to the whistle. Referee didn't stop the game. Referee looked like he wanted an excuse to disallow that goal. Found an excuse through that handball, and Julian Alvarez had a well-taken goal taken away from him, showing all the attackers how you don't need to be fluent and match sharp. I'm just a natural-born goal scorer. He's Sergio Aguero 2.0, if you ask me. Just comes onto the pitch, knows where the back of the net is, and puts the ball into the back of the net. Unfortunately, it's a goal that didn't count. Now, City did grab a goal to go back ahead again later in the second half. It was Rodri that went down. For some reason, the TNT Sports commentators were saying it was a weak one. For me, Rodri makes the pass. The challenge comes in from the defender that's late. Takes the boot of Rodri. He goes down. It's a penalty every single day of the week. Wasn't Haaland's best penalty. Keeper probably should have saved it. It goes into the back of the net. They all count, and Haaland gets his account underway for Champions League goals this season. And it's a bit like London buses. You wait a while for one, two come along at once. Less than 20 minutes later, Haaland with a well-taken goal. Defenders expect him to go onto his left foot. Puts it onto his right foot into the top corner. Boom. Job done. 3-1 to Manchester City, and all focus now can move on with a fully fit squad other than Kevin De Bruyne, and with momentum as well, winning 3 of our last 4 games in all competitions, going into Old Trafford with a job to be done. We want a revenge for last season and what happened at Old Trafford, so all focus can go onto that as well. And this tonight, ideal preparation for that. It does mean in terms of the Champions League permutation, City move on to 9 points. Leipzig have won today against Red Star at home. They move on to 6 points. Young Boys and Red Star sitting on 1 point. City 8 points clear of both of them. It means with 3 games remaining, Manchester City just need to avoid defeat against Young Boys to qualify for the last 16. of the Champions League. As long as we get a favour from RB Leipzig, I don't want any favours. I want us to go to the Etihad. I want us to beat Young Boys. We do that, we go through to the last 16, and as long as we avoid defeat, regardless of whatever RB Leipzig do against us in match day number 5, as long as we avoid defeat against them, we go through to the last 16 in first place as well. It could potentially, depending on what happens in the match away in Serbia for RB Leipzig, which isn't an easy game, depending on what happens with that and what happens in our match against Young Boys in Manchester, not only could we qualify for the last 16, but also could go in first place with 2 games remaining as well. So we'll keep an eye on that one. City still got a bit of work to do, but things may looking very rosy for Manchester City as we look to try and retain the Champions League trophy. So there we go. They've been my thoughts. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you are new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and check out my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Do leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim, and do go and check out today's video sponsor, Scratch Off Match, which you can find in the description. Remember, use code JSGC10 on checkout and get yourself 10% off your order. And I'll see you all again tomorrow. We've got a transfer update, very interesting update on Jamal Musiala at Bayern Munich getting linked with a move to Manchester City. I'll give you all the latest on that and all the other bits of transfer gossip going around, and then we will have the big build up from the end of the week to the Manchester derby on Sunday. So I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.